story most definitely is the weather, and it's going to affect all of us before the evening is over in some form or fashion, whether you hear it outside, whether you have some flooding in your neighborhood, or whether the severe potentials reach their fullest potential in the area where you are. The biggest story to tell you about in the terms of the weather right now is that a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch has been issued until 10 p.m. tonight for the areas that you're looking at on your screen. A lot of that is across Arkansas, but we're going to zoom in to the northeastern portion of the map and show you exactly where that covers. Give you an idea, it includes a lot of northeast Arkansas, but it doesn't include Randolph, Lawrence, Craighead, Poinsett counties, kind of that line there formed on what is really the majority of NEA, but that does include Sharp County and Independence counties. They're thrown into the mix there. So that line obviously is not an exact scientific measurement of where we're going to see activity take place, but that is the estimate from the National Weather Service as to where it could get the worst. We want to let everybody know that because it hopefully gives us an idea of where we should be keeping our focuses at tonight. In fact, I'll show you another map here in just a second. I do need to tell everybody we are also, again, under a blowing dust advisory until 7 p.m. tonight, along with a wind advisory, too, because of all of the gusty winds that we've got across NEA right now. Most definitely be careful if you're out driving. Let's take a look at actually what we're seeing as far as the severe weather potential tonight and what it looks like in the areas around NEA. I'm going back and forth between map systems from the National Weather Service office in Little Rock and in Memphis to try to give you the best idea of what it looks like. You can see Jonesboro is in an enhanced risk. All of NEA pretty much in an enhanced risk. A sliver of Clay County up there getting a slight risk zone. The worst areas as far as potential for tornadoes is probably going to be across northeast Arkansas. No surprise there. That's where it kind of tapers off usually anyway, is the Mississippi River. But it is the expectation tonight as far as where we're going to see the worst stuff fall is not going to be in NEA. It's going to be in central Arkansas. Great news. As far as this map goes, you can see the worst that we're seeing on that map is in NEA, but as a wider view would occur, and I'll just go back to that earlier graphic here to show you, it's more of a central Arkansas worry as of right now. A little bit of a worry in northeast Arkansas, but it's mainly a central Arkansas worry right now for the storms tonight. It doesn't mean that we won't still be watching them closely. A lot of those warnings and watches could still track up into northeast Arkansas. Here's a funky looking map because it actually keyed out the red, but the red is the color. It's just making our background show up in it. That's an area that shows you what the weather is going to do over the next 3 days. We've got 2 days where NEA is probably going to see a bit of this stuff, Friday and Saturday, and then by Sunday it's going to be somebody else's problem. But nonetheless, yes, it could go a little early into Saturday too, that we start to see some of the craziness that's going to be out and about out there. I want to show you guys a look at the radar right now as we're seeing the storms roll into Arkansas and to northwest Arkansas. I'm looking at the Weather Service chat right now to get an idea of how many watches and warnings are coming out of this. There was a little bit of talk in the Little Rock Weather Service chat about a worry about some of the tornado threats from the northeasternmost cell that you can actually see. Let me put the mouse pointer on it to give you an idea. And so we're going to be watching those closely as those develop and continue to move across to NEA. The general worry is if they form individual cells, they become more tornado risk, and if they form one large line of storms, they'll probably just be straight line wind risks. It's not to say that that's not without a risk still, but we would much rather deal with that than we would deal with tornadoes, right? Let's take a look at your New Wave Wireless 5-day forecast, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. And right now, I do want to tell you that we have got, as mentioned, once again, just run through these real fast, wind advisory, blowing dust advisory. Those are until 7 p.m. Tornado watch for much of northeast Arkansas, not Craighead, Poinsett, Randolph, Lawrence counties. That's where it kind of cuts off. But the counties to the west of us that are still in northeast Arkansas, Independence, for instance, you're under one right now. Just a heads up for what could come later. Speaking of that, tonight, showers and thunderstorms begin to mainly roll in after 7 p.m. tonight, and they're expected to have severe potential with them, and heavy rainfall is really probably going to be the biggest story out of all of this tonight. Between 2 to 3 inches of rain expected to fall in Jonesboro, and wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour going to make it well, at least a noisy evening, and it could be a long evening for some too. Chance for rain, 90%, no getting around it. As mentioned, 3 inches rain possible, but there are some areas, especially closer to the Mississippi River, may see closer to 4 over the next probably 36 hours. Tonight's low is dropping down to 61. Tomorrow, we're going to see a high near 68, showers and thunderstorms before 1 p.m. After that, it's just going to be some showers as the system gets out of here, and we don't have to worry about it anymore, and that's great. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, high near 68, the low 40. Tomorrow night, showers and thunderstorms until 1 a.m., and then for Sunday, mostly sunny. But you'll see a cold front's definitely moving in, a high near only 52, and it's still going to be windy with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. It's probably going to be a windbreaker day to wear or maybe an overcoat or something, just a light one if you're going to church on Sunday morning. For Monday, sunny with a high near 57, and the temperatures back up into the 70s by the time Tuesday rolls around. And that looks like around 71 is what the Weather Service is expecting right now. Hey, I'm just happy to see the sunshine back after Saturday. Overcast skies and breezy. Actually, since we've been here, we did see a little bit of, there were some tiny fractions of clear skies in Jonesboro, and those have all but cleared up right now. Take a quick look right here outside of the weather camera that we've got in West Jonesboro that's set up. The winds aren't going too crazy, but man, those trees were going back. They were swaying back and forth as we began the broadcast here tonight. In other parts of Jonesboro, gusts have been around 26 miles per hour over the last 15 to 20 minutes. 73, overcast and breezy is what we're dealing with right now. So, we have to tell you guys, as mentioned, with the National Weather Service having those potentials for tornado watches, that tornado watch is in effect right now, and the potentials for tornadoes to roll around in northeast Arkansas tonight, we want to run through some tornado safety tips just in case you and your family end up in the worst. This may save your life. It's going to get boring for a second, I know. But this kind of stuff, if you go through it once every few years, hey, it's great even for me to look at it. I was sitting here realizing as I was doing the broadcast, preparing for it earlier today, for some reason I said to myself, I can't remember all the tips of what to do. And that's usually the good indicator. It's time to go back through those tornado safety tips. So from weather.com, let's run through them right now. If you're in a building is where we're going to start. We're going to get to what to do if you're in a car, a mobile home, or other areas, so hold tight and we'll get to you. Building folks first. If you're in a building, got to have a portable radio. The Weather Service says a NOAA weather radio, and that's your best choice. If you don't have that, cell phones, keep them charged up, everybody. You want to make sure you can access any A report in the middle of this or your other folks that you're looking to get weather info from. Seek out shelter in the lowest level of your home. A basement or a storm cellar are perfect. If you don't have those, an inner hallway, a small inner room, or a closet which should be your next choice. Keep away from windows and glass doorways. That's a big one. If you're in a building like a church, hospital, school, or office building, go to the innermost part of the building on the lowest floor. Don't use the elevators because the power may fail, leaving you trapped. Probably not a big concern of using elevators across NEA, but there's a few places, right? So you can cushion yourself with a mattress, but it says don't cover yourself with one. Very interesting. Remember that distinction. Cover your head and eyes with a blanket or jacket to protect against flying debris and broken glass, but don't waste your time moving mattresses around, is what it says. Keep pets on a leash or in a crate or carrier. Big thing to remember your pets, because they'll freak out and take off running, and you'll find them in the county next door. Stay inside until you're certain the storm has passed, because multiple tornadoes can always emerge from the same storm, and do not leave a building to attempt to escape a tornado. If you're outside, here's what you got to think about. Try to get inside a building as quickly as possible. This is for folks that are dealing with a tornado warning over them at that moment. Whenever you hear that warning come later, if it does come, hopefully it doesn't, but this is what to think about. If you're outside, you got to get inside. Find a small, protected space away from windows. Avoid buildings with long span roof areas. We're talking about school gymnasiums, arenas, shopping malls, the kind of structures usually supported only by outside walls, it says, because when hit by a tornado, those kind of buildings can collapse. They can't withstand the pressure of the storm, and the outer wall, which is instantly sometimes damaged, is a major part of the structural support. If you can't find a place to go inside, crouch for protection next to a strong structure or lie flat in a ditch or low-lying area. Cover your head with your neck or arms or jacket if you have one. Very important tips continue. If you're in a car, a lot of folks are going to be driving out and about, and these are some tips to think about if you have a tornado warning issued for you while you're in a vehicle. If you can drive safely away from the tornado, do so. Let me just go ahead and throw an extra tip involved with that. Think right angles, okay? Do you remember the movie Twister? How that the tornado was moving from them and they ran straight away from it? Just run to the opposite, like a 90-degree angle. Run to the right. If it's headed north, run east or run west. Don't try to outrun its actual directional path. If no building is available, it might be better to pull over, though, and stop the car, but leave it running so the airbags work and crouch down below the windows. The airbags in front of the car will offer some amount of protection, but certainly not absolute safety. You're doing the best you can if you're in this kind of situation. A long-standing safety rule has been to get out of the car and into a ditch. If you do that, you should get far enough away that the car doesn't have a chance to tumble on you. This is, of course, if you're looking at it bearing down on you and you're in the car and you are without a choice. You don't want to stay inside of a tin can that's going to get tumbled around. Being below the prevailing ground level could shield you from the tornado wind and flying debris, but you still have a lot of danger from those. Don't get out of the vehicle and climb up under an embankment, a bridge, or an overpass. This often increases your risk. You think that the overpass or that bridge is safe underneath it. It's not for a tornado. Big tips to pass along for you if you're in a mobile home. You can't remain there during a tornado warning. Even mobile homes equipped with tie-down systems cannot withstand the force of a tornado's winds. So heed all local watches and warnings, especially if you're in a mobile or manufactured home. Leave that home to seek shelter as quickly as possible before the tornado strikes, preferably in a building with a basement. If no shelter is immediately available, find the lowest lying area near you and lie down in it. Cover your head with your hands. Hopefully these tips are all for naught. Hopefully you don't need these tips, but we want to keep them out there and make you aware of them tonight as the storms roll in. For folks that are just joining us, stand by. Going to take a commercial break real fast, and then we're going to come back and at that point run through the areas that have the biggest threat for concern tonight once more, and then we will wrap things up. So hold on, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're going to give you the full weather wrap-up once again in just a couple of minutes.
Accidents happen. So what happens if you bring your car or truck to Stadium Auto Body? It's in the hands of a manufacturer-certified expert who'll treat it with respect. It's brought back to life using the advanced tools and technologies today's vehicles require. All makes, all models. At Stadium Auto Body, we do the job right, back our work with a limited lifetime warranty, and make the whole experience pleasantly easy. Accidents happen. We're what happens next. Tell your insurance company you choose Stadium Auto Body.
Haley Norris, Realtor. Should I make my hair go like this? Whether you need to buy, sell, or lease. Haley, can I use my hands? Or is that, where are my hands? Where do they go?
Just say,
Haley.
Just like Haley.
Whether you need my expertise. Haley Norris, Realtor. Or even do a commercial lease. Haley Norris, Realtor. Should I say Remax Real Estate Center or no? Is that too salesy?
No, that's good.
My average days on market is just 50 days. You need my expertise. And that means I'm putting more money back in your pocket.
Family Medical Clinic of Walnut Ridge and Bono are your neighborhood healthcare providers, and we're now accepting new patients. We know you have a tight schedule, so we're here 6 days a week at both locations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome. In Walnut Ridge, stop by 1045 West Main Street or call us to make an appointment, 886-8300. In Bono, we're on Highway 63 North or call 930-9990. Walnut Ridge Family Medical Clinic and Bono Family Medical Clinic, here for you when you need us.
Take a look at that weather forecast one more time here. We want to let you know where the areas of significant concern are for tonight. In northeast Arkansas is fortunately not in the area that has the greatest potential, although it does look like it on that map that you're looking at right there. The map from the Weather Service office in Little Rock gives us an idea that it's actually central Arkansas that's going to deal with the biggest potential for tornado-producing storms tonight. So that is great news as far as as far as that goes for us, may not be so good for them. We hope that they definitely stay safe and don't have to deal with as much. And we also hope that Northeast Arkansas gets lucky and doesn't have to deal with this stuff as well. Nonetheless, you can see that corner, the edge of that map does scrape right up against many of the counties that are our primary viewing areas in NEA, like Randolph, Lawrence, Craighead, and Poinsett counties. So, Independence County, Sharp County, you're already in Jackson County too, you're under a tornado watch, particularly dangerous situation watch until 10 p.m. tonight. We're expecting most of this stuff to start rolling into Northeast Arkansas tonight around probably 7-ish p.m., 6 to 8 p.m. There's a time frame window there, and a lot of this stuff could speed up or slow down between now and then. But what we're going to be watching is probably starting between 6 and 7, we're going to have our eyes glued to the weather radar, and we're expecting around 7 to 8 to start to see this stuff really pop up here in Northeast Arkansas. That's when we'll pop in. We'll let you know what happens whenever it does happen here on NEA Report. We very much appreciate everybody for tuning in to us. We'll take one final look outside as we have seen the skies darken just in the short time we have been on with you here. They're probably going to continue to do that as the last remnants of sunshine are pulled from the sky, at least for the next day or so. I'm Stan Morris. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on NEA Report. We're back with you as breaking news breaks out this evening. We do expect to at least be doing a handful of cut-ins tonight, so keep your phone with you and make sure to see our live videos. See when we go live. We won't waste your time. We try to keep it important whenever we do break in. Tonight, down to 61, you're going to see those showers and thunderstorms produce anywhere between 2 to 3 inches of rainfall just in the overnight hours tonight. You're going to, as mentioned, see a low around 61 and windy. Don't forget, 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That may be the biggest part of the damage that happens from this storm all throughout tonight. Let's expect tomorrow to see some showers and thunderstorms up until around 1 p.m. and then a slight chance for showers as they get out of here, with mostly cloudy skies and a high near 68. Mostly sunny for your Sunday, but a cold front moves in with a high near 52 and still windy. Just to think about as you're going places, you may need that jacket. 73, overcast and breezy in Jonesboro, and we'll catch you in just a bit on NEA Report with more weather coverage.